We're here to prove it's possible, not just for us, but for every woman brave enough to go for more. We believe success is sweeter when it's shared, and that your next level comes faster when you're surrounded by women who truly get it. This episode is brought to you by the Ultimate Girls Trip Business Mastermind Retreat, where big goals, belly laughs, and bold action all belong in the same room.
Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are talking about something that is maybe a little controversial, but everybody can acknowledge that it is a part of our life. And we are talking about technology, not just our phones, but our laptops, AI, all of the things that we use to run our business, but are also stealing some of our sanity, I think.
I think so too. And I'm a huge fan of it because I need it to do all my jobs. Like every single job that I get to do from home is the result of technology. So, I love it, but I'm also like, I find myself having days where I'm scrolling and I'm hearing information midstream through the day that like gives me negative thoughts, and like it's thoughts about like politics or it's just news about bad things that are happening in the world. And I'm like, I didn't go searching for that and I don't really want to see it. I wanted to like quickly pop on to socials and see what my friends are up to today or whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
But then I'm also, when I do feel like catching up on the news, I'm grateful to social media that there's news stories that are not just mainstream news stories and that there's another side, and it's the only place to maybe get another side of what's going on in the world. So
100%,
it's
because
so
our
hard.
news source is owned by the
One
government.
side. Yeah, exactly.
It's
100%.
propaganda is what it is. So it's the only way to see other perspectives other than what the government wants you to see. But I agree with you. There's days where I'm like, I just need like a brain break. And then you go on there and you're like, this is the farthest thing from a break. This is like,
Exactly.
won't be spiraling about things that I hadn't even thought about today. And I don't really want to think about, but here I am.
And I think every single form of technology honestly has good and then it has bad.
Yeah.
That's just, and now we're talking AI, and it's like, the thing about AI is, for a productivity tool, I think it's phenomenal. If I know my email needs to be more professional, I love running it through and being like, just clean this up. It's so bad, like, because my brain's going 100 miles an hour and I'm trying to get it all done. And that can like take out 20 minutes of me thinking about how to say it clearly or make it more step by step or whatever it is that I'm looking to do, so that the recipient of it doesn't have to read through my craziness and my ideas that aren't organized. So I absolutely love it for that. But then I'm like, yeah, but I know that there's a side to this where it's going to take my job. It's going to take, potentially, right? Like it's going to make people less necessary. And that is kind of terrible, because what's it going to do to our economies, and what's it going to do to people's lives that, let's say make social media, and this can make you 30 social media posts in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
right?
it's definitely going to shape and shift the actual people that do jobs, but I think it also creates jobs too. So it's like,
it does.
It's not like, oh, it's fully taking away jobs. It's eliminating certain jobs maybe, but it's adding tons of new jobs that we didn't have before.
And so far, I've found that people are really in desperate, like, even though it's early in the AI world, people want to talk to a person to ask their questions. That's what I've noticed, like in my website work and things like that. People want me to explain it to them. And I'm like, I'm surprised we didn't just chat this. Like, you can just look on AI about this question. But they did. And AI doesn't show you exactly on their website, or the things that AI is explaining don't look the same or aren't listed by the same name. So then there's this missing link and people are just like, I give up. I want somebody to help me.
Yeah, here's the perfect example. Have you ever gone onto like a bot chat because you're like, struggling with something? How do I add a column into whatever? So you go on to the software's support, and it's a bot, and you're like trying to add a column into my accounting invoice, or something. And then the bot's like, you completely misreads it and is like, here is the help guide for how to set up a new business. And you're like, but that's not
Yeah.
what that's
Well,
not what I asked.
exactly.
So then you attempt to ask it a different way, and they're like, how to change the date in your accounting software. And you're like, that's not what I asked.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you do that 100 times, or have you ever called in to, like, tell us or something, and then you get like the, can you repeat that for me? And you're saying like, speak to the
Yeah, you have
operator.
to say you're like ID,
Yes.
customer ID or something, and they are mishearing it. It's like,
Yes, it's so frustrating. And you're like, just let me talk to a real person. Like,
hmm.
so I think that
Well,
as much
that,
as
and the
technology
other thing is,
advances, it's not
yes.
perfect and it's never going to be perfect. So there's always going to be a need for a human somewhere. And I do think that there's so much efficiencies that happen with
Hmm.
technology, like, and so much advertising. Like, look at social media. Look at 20 years ago, you would have to take an ad out on a billboard, at a radio station, perhaps in the yellow pages. All the ways that people would find your business before are just literally
Yeah,
extinct.
the newspaper.
Billboards are still
Yeah,
a thing, but like social media marketing all of a sudden became this
like
relatively
the biggest way. Yeah,
low cost, like anyone could just start advertising their business, and quite honestly more effectively than an
if you
ad
were
that
to put
only
it in the
certain
paper,
people will drive
newspaper,
by. Like a
for
billboard
sure.
ad is only going to be seen by the people that drive that road where the billboard ad is. Social
Hmm.
media, you can reach people in other countries, you can reach people in other
Absolutely,
provinces, states, whatever it looks like. So the reach is so much greater. But that being said, social media is also, in order for people to see your ad, they have to be scrolling. So it's the war on someone's attention.
for
And what
sure.
does that like?
Well, and when you do have a problem with like your technology, let's say, so I use the website example, someone will have a problem and they're like, they can't figure out why their site is behaving a certain way because of the way that they've designed it or formatted it. And what ends up happening is they don't even know how to explain the problem properly to
Yes.
AI because they don't know what the problem is. Because if they knew what the problem was, they would, like, that's why we're getting the wrong answer from AI, is because we don't know how to explain what it's doing, and it only knows how to explain very specific, well thought out questions. So who's going to tell you how to, what your problem is, so you can explain it to AI so that it can help you? And it's like, well, then just go to the who is going to tell you because they know how to fix it too.
Well,
And
and
so
have
I,
you ever gotten through to somebody, like, software help or something,
mhm,
and you get through to somebody and they're like, "Oh, hold on, let me just look it up." And I'm like, "I've already looked it up." Like, what do you mean? But they're the person who can ask the question better.
exactly.
Like,
Exactly. Well, it's
so.
one of the reasons also that I love working as a Wix partner because they have incredible support. So when I have a problem with a client's site, I can call them and they don't send me some like AI thing. They send me like a real person with a recorded video on the actual website I'm struggling with, showing me exactly what the problem is and why it's behaving a way that I can't figure out the problem. Or somebody actually answers the phone and walks through all the issues that I'm having with me and explains how to do it properly. And like, I appreciate it to a level that when people are like, I might go to another platform, like, I don't care to be on Wix. I just kind of saw the advertisement for it and I started here. So I thought I would, and I'm like, but they'll help you in the future. Like, they will help you in the future. So I think that you need to consider this. And also, I'll help you in the future to the level that I can, which is pretty high for most people's needs, right? Like, they get to call me back after I design their website. And if I have a website that I don't understand, I want a human helping me. So
But I think regardless, website, whatever it is, you want a human.
I agree,
You want a human. That's when you have a problem, though. I think there's a lot of things where it's not a problem,
for sure.
and you can use technology to
Hmm.
just find efficiencies. Like, so the
Totally.
the things that I'm going to give you my top like three things that I love about technology is, one, that it's basically free. You can use it as like free advertising, not just for your business, but also for like what your life looks like. If you see your life as almost like you're showing the highlight reel to your family and friends that might live far away. Like, I love that about social media. The thing I love about AI is that it builds so much efficiency. Like, you need to clean up an email, like you said. Or for me, it's like, can you read this document and summarize it for me? Or can
Oh
you,
yeah,
I need to copy and paste this, I don't know, all of this information into an Excel spreadsheet, and I don't want to have to type it all out, but this is a PDF and I need it in Excel. Can you do that for me? And it can do it for me, like
exactly.
something that would have taken
Even
me.
our Dext, like how you started using
Yes,
Dext, and then it does like an AI scan of all your receipts and makes you a beautiful document ready for your QuickBooks or your bookkeeper or whatever. And it's just done, and you're not doing your own spreadsheets. It's doing them for you.
totally. Like
It's so good.
the efficiency piece for me is just like absolutely.
Well, and it's not taking away a job because you were doing that for yourself. I was doing that for myself. And
I
like
was just wasting
truthfully,
a lot of time doing that.
exactly. That's exactly it. It makes me more efficient and makes me back to things that I can make money at and that make me happy. Because I will say, my expense account day does not make me happy.
No,
It's a very sad day of the month.
absolutely. And then the last thing is that I feel like we have access to so much information because of technology at our fingertips. Like I was driving home last night from a tournament from one of my kids, and even just within the city that I was in, it's like there's roundabouts and turnoffs, and it's a city that I'm not super familiar with, and there's underpasses and overpasses, and it's just like I thought to myself, how on earth did
Did
people
any I know.
25 years ago
I
find
know.
their way to the ball diamond in this city?
Exactly.
Because my hotel is only a 20-minute drive, but
Hmm.
I took about 40 exits.
I know. And it seems like you went three circles to get there. Like,
Could you imagine if someone was trying to navigate with an old-fashioned
no,
paper map? Like, I
no.
just think to
I
myself,
asked,
how lucky are we to just have
yeah,
this at our fingertips and order lunch from our phone while we're sitting at the ballpark so that it's ready by the time, before the
you
next game
go,
starts.
yes,
It's just like, there is so much amazing things that technology brings us. So when people are
for
like
sure.
shitting on, "Oh, everyone's addicted to their phone," yes, I agree. There's a lot of downsides, but man, has it made life so much easier.
Oh, for sure. And like I asked grandpa. So our grandpa's 90 years old and he was coming to watch play baseball last summer. And I said to him when he got there, I'm like, how did you find the place? Because he didn't know. We knew he didn't know where it was. We
He
had to
doesn't even
call
have a
him.
cell phone, so that we knew that
Yeah.
wasn't an option.
So we called him to before he left the house to tell him the which ballpark and the address. And then without a phone, what how do you find the place? And so what's crazy is that he lives in a very small place, and where this was the town over that's also just a small little place, but he didn't know where any of the ball diamonds were. And so he's like, well, if I'm ever lost or don't know what I'm doing, I'll just go to the visitor center. He's like, so I went to the visitor center and they told me it's right behind here. Like literally this ball diamond, there's like five ball diamonds in this place. And the one he needed was essentially in the parking lot. And I'm like, well, that's lucky because you could have been 20 minutes away, and then like
Well, and
missed the
like,
first
how do you
game.
find the visitor center is the real question.
Well, he knows where the visitor center is because he goes there all the time for his questions
Yeah.
and his
Oh,
maps.
crazy.
And yeah, but like talk about not being efficient. That's not efficient.
Totally.
Like having to
Totally.
stop, go right downtown to this place, find parking, get out, go talk to somebody. I'm like, yeah, that's a step I'm really wanting to miss. That's the step I don't need to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the three like things that you like, maybe the downsides of technology, and how you can
So,
how you can limit the negative effects of those?
so my downside by far and away is that my phone is in my hand all the time. So, or close by all the time. So, what ends up happening is it's 11 o'clock at night. I get a text from a client. My reaction is to read it and then want to respond or want to do the thing that they're talking about so that it's done for the day because that's my nature. Well, that's not a life. I need to have like business hours. And so I've had to really establish when I respond, when people can get in touch with me, when like I break my own rules sometimes because if I'm very busy, I will work on the weekend. And I kind of hope somebody will write me back if it's a decent hour. If I send them an email,
Yeah.
I love when they do because then I can keep moving once I get the question answered. But do I think it's great to like just be able to be at people's beck and call 24 hours a day? Definitely not. And do people that have different hours than me want you to be? Yes. And that sucks. So I've had to really put in a whole bunch of parameters around responding, working hours, when it's time to take a break, when it,
Yeah.
that type of thing. What about you?
One of the biggest things for me, I would say, and I think I'm not alone in this, is that it is a time suck. Like,
Yeah,
it's such an attention grabber. You're bored. Like we just don't have the art of being bored anymore. You're bored, you grab a phone and you start scrolling. Like you need a mental break, you start scrolling, you start looking up things, you start online shopping, you start, like just the little things that you do to just fill in all of those
totally.
moments where you could be doing other things. And I'm like, this is just not a useful way to spend my time. And like we said earlier, oftentimes you see things that you're like, I didn't want to see that. I'm trying to have
Exactly.
like a happy moment here and like catch up on my friends' lives. I absolutely don't need to see debates and things like that
Yeah, exactly.
online. Yeah. So that I would say it just steals everyone's attention. And
For
there's
sure.
nothing more frustrating when you're like out for dinner or something and the person, even if it's a work call or a work text or a quick like, oh, I better tell the babysitter this. It's like, yeah, but I get it. I 100% get it and I'm guilty of it. But you're also not present with the person if you're sitting on your phone the whole time
Totally.
doing your errands via
Hmm.
phone?
Well, and you know how many times I get like I never wrote that person back. And it doesn't matter what I'm doing. My natural reaction is to do the thing because I feel like I'm already late. So it's outside of my work hours. I am having dinner with Darren. I am somewhere with somebody else. And I am like, I just have to quickly do this. So I've like had to make some rules for myself around use of my phone in that I'm not strict, but I do like to try to put it away when if we're like watching a show at night, or I try to not have it like I don't like going on it in bed. I want it to like be there to be my alarm or be there to be my like emergency, need something,
Yeah.
it's close
Yeah.
by. But I don't want to like be texting in bed all night and then scrolling. Like I get in bed at bedtime and then I don't look at my phone. So
Mhm.
that is not part of my like falling asleep routine or anything like that. But
I
it's
think
hard.
that if you have a limited ability to like control yourself, like, you just
Yes,
know that once you pick up that phone, you truly need to set like an alarm and be like, I get 20 minutes of phone time and then I'm putting it away for the day. Like I
for
think that
sure.
you have to get really honest with yourself if that's your inclination is to overuse your phone and set some boundaries until they naturally come to you.
Yeah. Well, in my chaos brain, like I'll be going on there to like check the email or search for an email that I can't find on my computer and to be like, which email address did that come to? And a pop up will say, you've got 5 notifications on Instagram, 5 messages. And I'm like, from who? Why? I wonder why I've got 5 right now. And then next thing you know, I'm in Instagram writing people back, scrolling, buying something from an ad, like an hour's gone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what
Yeah,
I picked my phone up for. I was actually going to make an Instacart order to order groceries. And I didn't
totally.
even look at Instacart yet. And Darren will even say, he's like, you're not looking at Instacart. Like, cause he's standing there waiting to tell me what we need to order because he's looking in the fridge.
Bless me.
Bless you. And I got distracted and I'm answering an email. I'm looking on social media. I'm reading a thing. I'm watching the political
Yeah,
memes. Like, I'm just all over the place. And so he's like, do what you went on there to do. So I almost have to be like, answer the email, answer the
yeah,
email, answer the email, like, or
yeah.
whatever my task was. That's what I have to prioritize. And I have to like keep it in my mind on,
Yeah,
on like a
I
loop.
would say that the last thing that I dislike about technology is that I
Mhm.
feel like it's making such a disconnected world. Like I feel
Totally.
like someone was saying to me this weekend that her son's high school never used to have parameters on cell phone use.
Yeah.
And so he had basically no friends and he's like nobody has any friends. Everyone as soon as the like lunch bell rings, everyone grabs their phone and sits
Mhm.
basically by themselves and goes on their
Watch
phone.
TikTok or whatever.
Yeah, and or plays
Don't.
Roblox. I don't know what kids do on phones, but all the
Yeah.
things. And I was like, how sad is that? School was
It's so sad.
my favorite part of school was going to hang out with my friends.
It was the only part, and it was the part,
The only
honestly, that
enjoyment.
I like. Well, it was the part that like actually I got to bring into my adult life as like a skill is to
Absolutely.
socialize and be part of things. And be
Yeah.
brave because you had to like make new friends. And like, honestly, that's where I learned the bulk of what I learned in school was socially. It was recess. It was lunch hour. It was breaks. Yeah, I agree with that.
So if you, I know we're not, most listeners probably aren't still in school, but if you are guilty of living in a silo because you're always on
On
your
your phone.
phone, take this as your encouragement to like get out into the real world, do something face to face with a friend, make a phone call. Like, I love that like old school phones and stuff are coming back so kids can actually like pick up the phone and learn some phone etiquette and like all
Mhm.
the things that are just like a little bit of a lost art.
Totally. Well, and use it for productivity because it's one of those things that can be a great asset to us
Yeah,
all, but it doesn't have to take over our life either.
for sure. 100%.
All right. Have a great week. And thank you guys so much for joining us again.
Bye, guys.
We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you'll subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks and chat next time.